Hello everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday. And today, I got a new book and I'm pretty excited about it. So, first thing I'm going to do is light my candle. And make sure it's lighting. Yeah, and then just I'm going to take a couple of cleansing breaths in and out. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to review last week's read and just kind of see how the week went for me last week. So last week, my question was, what is it that I need to release this week? And that was my first time working with these cards, and I pulled the World. And at first I kind of had a hard time identifying how, you know, how this World card, how it coincided or what it meant as far as releasing things, or the thing that I needed to release. And I think it was, my thought was that it was, I needed to release the any doubts that I had about the Dear Diary project, the collaborative art project that I'm working on. And so that was my initial reaction, is that I needed to release my self-doubt over that, because it is, it's a worldwide project. I'm, inviting, anyone and everyone to tell a bodily autonomy story. And I think this card was saying, yeah, you got this. You have some control. And then my friend Carol at Free Spirit Arts, she commented that she instantly thought that it was the release of the weight of the world that I've been carrying, well, you know, basically since COVID. Everything's been kind of enhanced for me since the pandemic. But there have been a few things that have really stood out to me. The murder of George Floyd kind of really set me off, and that was a couple years ago. And then things have just been piling up, and they have been weighing me down terribly. And the my decision to finally be an activist for something that I feel strongly about has been a release for me. And so her thought was that me taking on this project to do is going to make a difference in the world, and that I this continued work that I do will you know it's basically me making myself a vessel for change in the world, and I really liked that, and so I also wrote that down too. So yeah, and this week I have got a couple of submissions I'm really excited about, and that if I haven't shared them already, I will be sharing them as time goes on. I did do a post on my Instagram, and I do plan to do a video, probably just a short video, but that was a review of last week. And then I want to share with you this book I got. So I actually went out shopping because I've been looking online at books, tarot books specifically, and it's really hard to get a feel for them over the internet. I needed to touch and feel and flip through some of these books that I was thinking about. So I went to the bookstore, and this book was by far the best book that I saw there for me. It's beautiful, and it has kind of an in-depth look into each of the cards, and then it talks about it, if you're doing a general reading, what it means, love and romance, career and money, personal spirit, and reversed. And it kind of, I love that. I love that it is, it's so in depth like that. And the whole book is like this. So I'm pretty excited. She also has a great, little resources in the back. She has basically a cheat sheet in here too, an indexed, I guess you'd call it. And then in the front, she has really cool spreads to use. So, so I'm just going to start with the first spread, release and retain. So it's a little bit on the same theme of last week, but I am definitely still hanging on to old patterns and old stories that I have about myself, and it's a little bit getting, I wouldn't say it's getting in the way. It's I'm conflicted about sharing my story, my bodily autonomy story. On the one hand, I want to, and on the other hand, I just feel like I just should not. And so I'm having a hard time with that. And so so I just, even though I kind of plan to do all of these spreads eventually, I just thought this was a good one. And so that's what I'm going to do now. So we'll bring the book back in a second, but yeah, so release and retain. So what is ready? Basically this question, the first one is, what is ready to leave my life or has been taking up too much of my attention and energy? So that's the first question here. And I'm going to note, I'm not reading reversals yet, so if a card comes up reversed, I'm just going to switch it back. I'm not going to be working with the reversals for a while. I will eventually, but not right now. So what is ready to leave my life or has been taken up too much of my attention and energy? Okay. Oh, interesting. The Lovers. So it says if a major arcana card appears in either position, it represents a significant area of development. So that's interesting. It also says, listen to your inner voice as you observe your initial emotional response to seeing these cards next to one another. In your journal, write down the thoughts that arise along with any other observations. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the release card, or the retain. So what is necessary to keep for continual growth? What is necessary to keep for continual growth? I have never pulled the Lover's card before, so I'm kind of interested in that. I feel this deck is it feels so different from the other decks that I've used. I'm trying to come up with some words to describe it. It's weird because I feel like it has a lot to say to me, but it's taking it like it doesn't know where to start, I guess, is a good way to kind of say that. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to pull this one. Okay, oh, this, I don't know what card this is. I think it's an extra. So, I don't know what that means. And it cracks me up that that's the one that would come out. Okay, there we go. Queen of Wands. Okay, so just kind of following along with what the book said, it says, listen to your inner voice as you observe your initial emotional response to seeing these cards next to each other. So interestingly enough, I feel really good that the Queen of Wands came up, or just a queen in general, because I feel like that's, yeah, I'm never quite comfortable with like lovers type things. Like, I don't like to read romance novels. Yeah, I'm just not a sappy, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not one for, love stories, I guess. So when I pull that card, to me it's like a negative connotation, and I don't know why. I'm just going with my initial feelings. But then when the Queen comes up, I feel like that's more of a, like a control, to offset the feelings that I have for this card. So let's look and see what these mean in the book. So I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging here. So I'm going to go ahead and find the Lovers, and it is number 6. Okay. So the Lovers stand together in harmony, the balance of the masculine and feminine, with nothing to hide. Every choice they make is in alignment with love. Okay, I really like that. And I also like that the Queen came up and gives the balance a little more to the feminine. I like that. That makes me feel really good. So the Lover card signifies an opportunity to connect in relationships that support your happiest, healthiest, best self. The imagery shows a man and a woman standing naked in a garden between the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. The snake represents the temptation to indulge in earthly pleasures, while the angel encourages the couple to choose divine love over succumbing to instant gratification. A desire for pleasure is balanced with that word that I cannot say, vulnerability, good for me, and trust, since both exist within a harmonious relationship. Okay, that's cool. I like that. And another thing that came up was working I did a 1 month and then a 6 month reading at the last, I don't know if it was the last full moon or new moon. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check my notes. But just not working on the relationship with my husband, because we have a good relationship, but just nurturing it was something that I was going to be focusing on. So that's interesting. So because I feel like this is a personal spiritual reading, I'm going to read this part. So it says, this card serves as a reminder to choose divine love over instant gratification. that balancing masculine and feminine energies within yourself will attract the right relationship to you. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, as far as actually a love relationship, my husband and I have been married for 40 years, so I'm not really looking to attract like a new male relationship, but it could be any relationship that's upcoming, or that I might need to think about nurturing currently. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so this is, I got off track. Okay. What is ready to leave your life or has been taking up too much of your attention and energy? I have trouble with the kind of the release part of it, understanding when it's not reversed. And that's my own thing. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. I'm going to see what the Queen of Wands has to say. So this is what I need to retain. So, feminine energy of intuitive creativity with emotional intelligence combined with passion and heart-centered action are held within the Queen of Wands. I'm going to take a little drink here. In tarot, queens represent feminine energy that includes receptivity, creativity, nurturing, and love. The addition of the fire element combined with intuitive water gives this queen action-driven capabilities for giving as well as receiving. The wand is seated facing the river, facing the viewer. Jeez, yeah, I can read. Displaying confidence rather than passivity. Her gaze to the left, the direction of intuition, symbolic of her connection to water and feminine energy. Interesting. So, personal spiritual. Focus on cultivating your intuitive powers within your spiritual practice and manifesting your dreams into reality. This may mean spending time in nature or to rejuvenate your energy and spirit before returning to your responsibilities. Take initiative to work on healing any blocks to your self-esteem and self-worth. You are becoming more confident, which will lead to immense personal growth and improved relationships. Okay, that's, yeah, really fascinating. Okay, I'm going to take these two cards. I'm going to write in my tarot journal, and then come back with any aha moments, or just any closing comments about this. And so I'll be back. I did not have an aha moment, but I did pull a few cards for some clarification. I had a feeling that I knew what this meant, but I didn't want to, because I'm so new with the tarot, I just didn't want to make assumptions. So I asked another question, which was, what will I gain from this release? So what I wrote first about this was, I'm honestly baffled by this card as something I need to release. I said, what is ready to leave my life or has been taking up too much of my attention and energy? And then I said, am I to release relationships that do not support my happiest, healthiest, best self? And then I said, what relationship first, when I said, like, I'm baffled, I pulled a card, and my question was, what will I gain from this release? And the Ten of Cups came up, which to me looks like a happy family. You know, the kids are dancing, you know, a couple here, arms raised to the sky, the the Ten of Cups in a rainbow like that. Like to me, this is like extreme happiness when I first saw it. And so what I wrote was, so the card meaning specifically is, yes, happiness, and fulfillment, specifically like emotional fulfillment. So it's also like the energy of completing, like a long, sorry, I'm trying to read my writing and it's really bad. Oh yeah, energy of completion, which is long-standing issues, that, you know, to be resolved, that they're going to get resolved, and this huge happiness and emotional fulfillment will. And I was like, yeah, that's all great and well and everything, but you know, who exactly are we looking at, for releasing a relationship? And this is hard for me because I cannot get into specifics, or I will not, and that's all part of this whole thing. This is an incredibly personal card draw for me, and I can tell that this deck is going to make me face these really, really hard things that I don't want to face, and I'm okay with that. I'm not sure how okay I am with sharing. So for right now, I'm going to be slightly vague. But, you know, those intuitive people out there that, you know, have been following me for a while, might get a sense of what this is about. But so then I pulled, I said, I just got right down to it. I said, so my question was, what relationship might this be that I need to release and let go of, and blah, blah, blah. And this card basically flew out of the deck. And this card, just not necessarily this specific card and the meaning of this card, it does not necessarily relate, but these two words, the Hermit. This is exactly the person in my life that I was thinking of when this card was drawn, because honestly, my husband and I have a great relationship. Like I said, married 40 years. We have great communication. We're a great team. We work super well together. Our relationship has evolved many times over 40 years, as you can imagine. There were some hard times, but the good times and the contentment and just the joy, contentment, and security that the relationship with my husband brings me is, you know, I'm blessed. So I know that that's not what that was. When this card comes up, I know it's not. It especially within a release. So anyway. So yeah, this, yeah, it was, so again, I need to trust my intuition more when I'm using the cards, because I was pretty sure who this was, but then I just came out and said, is this blah, whatever. And then this card came up, the Two of Swords, which is, it's basically indecision, self-protection. So it's, it says protecting myself from pain due to fears that stem from experiences in my past. So basically, yes, this is the person I thought it was, and that's what all of this is about. Um, and basically, it's this card says, I only know what's best for me. I can make the courageous choices, um, but only I can make courageous choices if I can only trust myself. So this is all the release, and then the retain, which is the Queen of Wands, which I instantly felt good about when I drew it, is basically saying that, so this is the retain card, this is what I need to release and this is what I need to retain. And it is, it's, this card is all positive things, and it's all things that I know, like stepping into my own power, you know, but the one thing that this card also says is that I am being guided and protected, like now and always. And so it's, another thing, kind of a side note thing, this card is referred to as the Witch of the Tarot, which I find fascinating. And it's because of her ability to manifest things, because she's working with water, because she's the queen. The queen in all suits represents the water, and then the wands is the fire. And so there's a lot of feminine energy, intuitive, creative, and emotional, intelligent energy surrounded around the Queen of Wands. So I just need to retain my confidence and my self-worth, and elevate them, and maybe have the courage to speak to this here, and yeah, just basically that's basically this reading. So I think I explained it well without getting into specifics. It's very specific for me, very obvious, and yeah, really interesting. And I should note, this has taken me a couple of hours to get to this point of figuring this out. I've done a lot of writing, just real quick, and then a lot of reading in this book, which if you would like to learn tarot for basically the cost of a deck, and I think this book was only like $15. Really good. Love it. Love it. Love it. So that's my Tarot Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you in our creative places. Talk to you soon. Bye.